not the shooting, but
hello, everybody.
The prosecution's arguing that he was shot at, and that carries 12 and a half years in prison. There's a third degree, or count 3 is a first degree reckless endangering of safety. That's for the man who they call him the jump kick man, the man who appeared to kick Kyle Rittenhouse in the face. He also was shot at over the course of this incident. And then you have count 4. It's the first degree intentional homicide. That is the biggest count that Kyle Rittenhouse is facing. It carries that life sentence. In other states, that's essentially called first degree murder, but Wisconsin has different statutes.
This is just happening now. Can you guys hear?
Homicide here. And then count number 5 is that first degree attempted first degree intentional homicide, and that carries the 60-year penalty. For both of those counts, there are 2 counts under them that the jury can also consider. So essentially they're going through, and they had about 7 counts that they could that they were deliberating and going through. Now, a big part of this case, and let's just remind our viewers what both sides are arguing. You have the defense representing Kyle Rittenhouse. They are saying that this was a 17-year-old who was acting in self-defense. They say he was being chased. They say that he was being threatened. He feared for his life and his safety, and he was simply responding to the threat. Kyle Rittenhouse took the stand in this trial. There was that moment where he broke down on the stand, and that became somewhat of a controversial moment.
All right, Shaq.
Let's listen to the judge.
I think we're hearing something.
There can't be any reaction at all, no matter how strongly you may feel. And it's understood that many people do have strong feelings. But we can't permit any kind of a reaction to the verdict. And as you can see, there is quite a bit of law enforcement here, and you will be whisked out of here if there is any. So just be aware.
Okay.
Hello? Would you go down, please? Yes. Thank you.
We're just going to watch this together, and then I'll get to your questions.
Shaq, when you go back, and we know so you said they asked for more video to see that. And when you look at that, it impacts every one of the counts that they're debating. So we can't really even say, oh, that means they were really needed more information on X. Is that fair to say?
Exactly. It's hard to read into what the jury is asking for. I mean, when video was such a crucial part of this case for both sides, for the defense and prosecution, you can't really read too much into what the jury was thinking. I think it's fair to assume that they wanted to see the video as they were going through those conversations, as they were locked away in that room for nearly 24 hours. And I mentioned what the defense has been saying, and that this is an act of self-defense. The prosecution has been saying that Kyle Rittenhouse put himself in his position. You heard them in the closing arguments saying that you can't claim self-defense for something that you created, for a situation that you created. They say that he came from Antioch, Illinois, crossed state lines. That's become a phrase that you heard over and over, though Kyle Rittenhouse said he has family ties to Kenosha, but that he came here with that semi-automatic weapon.
All right. The jury is now, it looks like they've been waiting for the jury. Here we go.
54. And has the jury reached a verdict as to each count of the information?
Yes, we have, Your Honor.
One verdict and one verdict only?
Yes.
Would you hand all of the paperwork to the bailiff, please?
This is the ones that we didn't know.
Yeah, everything.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. May I see that too, please, Mrs. Chairman? Thank you. The defendant will rise and face the jury and hearken to its verdicts.
State of Wisconsin versus Kyle Rittenhouse. As to the first count of the information, Joseph Rosenbaum. We, the jury, find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the second count of the information, Richard McGinnis. We, the jury, find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the third count of the information, unknown male. We, the jury, find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the fourth count of the information, Anthony Huber, we, the jury, find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the fifth count of the information, Gage Grosskreutz, we, the jury, find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty.
Members of the jury, are these your unanimous verdicts? Is there anyone who does not agree with the verdicts as read? Would you wish the jury polled? No. Okay. Okay, folks, your job is done, and we started just about 3 weeks ago, and I told you it could last 2 weeks and 2 days. This is 2 weeks. This is 3 weeks. You were a wonderful jury to work with. You were punctual. You were attentive. And the forgotten six over here who had a very difficult job of keeping from discussing the case during the time that they were sequestered as well. All of you, I couldn't have asked for a better jury to work with. And it has truly been my pleasure. I think, without commenting on your verdict, the verdicts themselves, just in terms of your the attentiveness and the cooperation that you gave to us, justifies the confidence that the founders of our country placed in you. So I dismiss you at this time. You're never under any obligation to discuss any aspect of this case with anyone. You're welcome to do so as little or as much as you want. The media have requested, a number of media sources have requested the ability to talk to you, and they have been allowed to present presentations to you that you'll get in writing, and it's entirely up to you whether you want to contact them. They are not to contact you. If anyone does contact you, and just tell them you're not interested in discussing it, if that's the case. And if anyone persists in doing so, report that to us and it will be addressed, I assure you. At the beginning of the trial, there was some concern about information and your safety. And I assure you that we will take every measure to ensure that that is.
Okay, guys, so we're going to listen for a minute here. But I'm going to do an Overloaded Celtic
just a minute, not about anything to do with the case, but just about
this
that sole
situation
issue
and what it means and what's going to happen. So I'll be putting down many
you're welcome to
cards.
discuss the case as little or as much as you want. Any questions, anybody? Thank you so much. And you're after 4 years, you're eligible for service again. It would be my pleasure to work with you. Thank you. Yeah, please. Or in the they can in the library. It's not going to be more than a minute, or maybe it will be. Take them upstairs. That's fine. That's fine.
Shaquille Brewster, there it is. Not guilty on all 5 counts. We saw Kyle Rittenhouse's reaction. Not surprising, considering I think I'm sure he was thinking about what he could be facing. And he obviously has quite an emotional relief to him. The families of those that were killed by Rittenhouse, we haven't heard from them. Obviously, we didn't have a camera on them. So, Shaq, what have you gotten any reactions yet from any of the other family members?
We haven't gotten any reactions from the family members, though we do know we expect to hear from the family of Jacob Blake. Of course, this was the protest. That was the reason why this protest was happening when Kyle Rittenhouse shot those two men. We're expecting to hear a press conference from them a little bit later this afternoon. But I'll tell you, Chuck, outside of the courthouse, I am slightly removed from the courthouse steps where you have the crowd of people there, the demonstrators that have been here, frankly, throughout the trial, people who were both standing there in opposition and hoping for the conviction of Kyle Rittenhouse, and those who were advocating for his acquittal, which they now received. What we heard and what we saw on the steps is someone actually came out of the courthouse and yelled, quote, "He's not guilty." And you heard the crowd erupt. There was lots of "God bless Americas," and this is coming from our producer, Molly Roker, who is over there, and people saying the Second Amendment won. And you have a split, you have a divide right there on the courthouse steps, including Justin Blake, who is the uncle of Jacob Blake, who's been out here every single day of this trial. Even when temperatures were dropping into the 20s, he was out there advocating, saying that he wanted justice for the family of Mr. Joseph Rosenbaum and for Anthony Huber. So you have that divide there. Things are peaceful right now. We haven't seen any skirmishes or anything. I should underscore that because that has been a fear for so many. Of course, this is a town that went through a lot last August, not only this shooting, but the reaction to the shooting of Jacob Blake. There are 5 schools here that have gone to virtual learning because of the fear of what could happen after a potential verdict. We do know that the National Guard is on standby. They've been standing by outside of Kenosha, about 500 members of the National Guard. There have been a handful of arrests throughout this trial and throughout the deliberations, but we heard from the county sheriff yesterday who said that things have been peaceful despite the fears, and he hopes to keep it that way. So you'll definitely watch, or we will definitely watch the reaction, especially for the families of those two men who were killed. And I think one other point I just want to add really quickly is that one thing you heard in the trial, and we heard this from the girlfriend of, I believe it was Anthony Huber, the frustration that she expressed when she was talking to a reporter with our affiliate, of the fact that she didn't feel that someone was in the courtroom defending her loved one. We heard the prosecution, even in this case, as they were trying and pushing for the conviction of Kyle Rittenhouse, they didn't praise the men that were killed. They didn't say that these were, upstanding individuals. They called one of the men at one point a small guy with a Napoleon complex, picking on another small guy. So those family members have been in the courtroom, have been watching this.
Shaq, I want to pause you there.
They didn't have a voice in this.
Jacob Blake's uncle is speaking right now. We want to listen into that. So hang on with me.
Social justice has never been about taking lives, saving lives. It's never been about tearing down communities. It's been about building communities. It's never been about division. It's been about unity. We're going to maintain peace and protest in these streets. And all over America, our voices are going to be heard. All over America, our feet are going to take the streets of America, because we still have Ahmaud Arbery. We still have Heather Heyer in Charlottesville, Virginia, and the fight continues. We know the truth, and one thing about the truth will make you free. We're not satisfied. We're not going to be pacified, and we're not going to accept.
All right, that is not Jacob Blake's uncle. We got some bad information to us, and when we turn that camera on, my apologies for that. Shaq, I want to go back, let you finish what you're going to say, but I think it's going to be pretty clear what you were bringing up was actually feeding into a question I had for you, which is the prosecution is now going to be backseat driven by a lot of people here. The decisions they made, what they decided, what counts they brought. Obviously, they're going to claim that there were some pieces of evidence they didn't get to present that they think would have strengthened their case. There'll be some of that. But it's interesting when you say that the deceased's family didn't feel like anybody was speaking for them. That feels like an indirect critique of the prosecution.
It could be, Chuck. And, it really, it's hard to go back and analyze that because there's so many factors at play here. I think, one thing that made this trial unique and is different from some of the other trials is sometimes you have the prosecution and defense.
Okay. Let me shut this down so I don't have it in my ear. Hello, everybody. Wow. Okay. I did okay. So, welcome everybody. Daily political tarot readings. It's kind of how we do around here. And 10% of my income from everything black and orange related goes to feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. That's an ongoing thing. All right. The cards, cards I've got here is, oh, Deborah, we just watched it. We just watched it on live on the news. I've got a bunch of cards here of white supremacy, of racism. I mean, it's just what was on the line for the reading was the possibility of him going to prison. But he started out in the past in a place of privilege. And it's just it's just right-wing communication. This is the center of the reading. What other people see more wants, fascism, racism. It's above the reading. It's a right-wing plan and nostalgia. Below the reading is trying to move forward in the country, trying to move forward into a more inclusive situation, but being blocked by the devil. Home environments, cult members, mega cult members, the fascists. Hopes and fears, he'd grow up and be a proud fighting for the Republican cause. The challenge is literally my card for white supremacy. Near future 1 and 2. Near future 1, near future 2. So he's in a stronger place because he's able to go on from here, and then he will be asked to be interviewed on Fox and all these other places, and he becomes the poster child, you know. I hope, you know, he's going to go have to get his brown shirts laundered. Final outcome, right-wing dynasty. However, we are still moving toward a better society. And there will be legal decisions will change, but we're still not there. So I asked if there was any more information, and I got that, you know, what would the fallout be? And I got Democrats ultimately in a good place in the long run. Matter of fact, right underneath that, I've got more cup cards and the card of institutions. So Democrat energy being in charge. And he feels beaten up by the system. Please. There's Biden, and there are secrets and higher wisdom. This is fated. This was meant to happen at this time. Sterling Rose is asking, will there be a second trial for wrongful death? Let's see what else. Will there be second trial for wrongful death? Kyle Rittenhouse, future, legal future. Oh, you're not getting another full. I'm not doing a full Celtic just on this jerk. 5 cards. Kyle Rittenhouse, your legal future. Wrongful death, civil penalties, institution. Well, so far the institution's been very favorable to him. My priestess, strength, 10 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups, Page of Cups. If the families of the deceased get anything, it will only be a tiny amount. It won't. Entitlement. Well, okay, people are starting to talk about civil wars and all this kind of stuff. I don't think we're going there. I really don't. Hang on a second. Let me actually grab that question because I want to make sure. One second here. One second. Pause that. All right. Kristen's asking, will there be federal charges for bringing a weapon across state lines? I think we can have a look at that. Okay, and hang on, I'm just trying to find that question. Okay, so I did, will there be a second trial for wrongful death? I got that. So I'll put that, make sure that's in here. Goodness gracious, what a day. And all right, just having, I'm sorry this is taking me a minute. I'm doing this very much on the fly. And Rob D saying, meanwhile, the Ahmaud Arbery and the Charlottesville trials continue, and it's not looking good for those defendants. Well, hopefully there'll be some justice somewhere. Okay, there's Kyle asking, I wonder if we're headed for another civil war. I'll make sure we read on this. All right, so I'll ask about the federal charges of bringing things over state lines. Guns over state lines. There we go. All right. And yes, she did not drive him. It was reported that his mother drove him there, but she didn't. Apparently. I had an overlay. I was doing this whole thing. Glitter. Because there was a lunar eclipse this morning. Oh, well, I tried. Okay. Yeah, everybody remain calm. Then the person speaking, it may not have been his uncle, but I'm glad that person was speaking out, and I'm glad they, excuse me. I'm glad that they actually broadcasted that statement about we are going to remain calm. We need to remain calm. I think that was a great thing, actually. So, thank you, Lisa. Onene is asking, will the judge be taken off the bench? I've been reading on him. It's been not great looking for him. But, all right, I've got the quote. Okay, so we are at, okay, will there be, oh no, that was that. So we had the verdict and then, okay. Almost there, almost there. way too much to keep in my head. Okay. All right, good. And I can still save. So at 25 minutes in, whoops. Um, 30. Okay. Vicky says the friend bought the gun in Wisconsin and gave the gun to Kyle when in Wisconsin, not initial transport over state line before the shooting. Oh gosh. And so the gun wasn't even carried over state lines. Okay. Marie Sutton is asking, Autumn, how are you holding up? Are you okay? Being an empath and all makes it even harder. I am disgusted and appalled. But it's one of those things where you this evening, Johnny on Tara's Apprentice is having a talk. They're not readings. He's having a bunch of people on. And the topic tonight is about toxic people. And I have fair amount to say about that, but he has too many people who wanted to join in, so I'm not going to be there this evening. He wanted to include people who haven't had a chance to be on, so good. But I do have a fair amount to say about toxic people, and this is related. That there are just going to be toxic people in the world. There just are. And to some extent, we sometimes have to say, okay, we've lost that fight. We lost that battle. We need to go on to the next one. And just do that, trying to move toward justice. As it is in we are literally hardwired to be offended by injustice. Even the smallest children, if they can understand anything about fairness, they understand if something is unfair. So we absolutely, we're absolutely drawn to that. Kristen, I appreciate you giving the about the Jimmy Hoffa stuff. I'm not going to be able to do anything with it right now, though. So, but thank you. The justice system will continue. I'll ask if there are going to be federal charges, but ultimately we have to some extent, just say, okay, that's that. What's the next fight? So that's all really we can do. I do not want any kind of retribution. The whole point is there's too much violence, and is that working? No, I'm just going to be washed out no matter what I do here. Yeah, be washed out no matter what I do here. So I'm just going to give up on that. Can make it hard to actually see it can make it hard to actually see the cards when it's too bright. There, hopefully that'll work. And I'm reading them as you see them. So, okay, so I agree, Marjorie, Laura. We still need to keep up the fight. Yes, we absolutely do. Hello, Jolie. Thank you, Kristen. Jeff Sitzman says it's a gut punch, no silver lining here. Yes. So what's the next fight? When's the next time we're going to be voting? So how do we keep fighting? And that's the key. Thank you. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hugs. Pray, everyone. Pray. This is exhausting. I can't anymore. Oh. We're going to be okay. We will. In the long run, we will be okay. Stephen Haggerty says it took years to get here. It will take years to improve our lot. That's true. Thank you. You matter to me. Yes, M. Kelpie. Meanwhile, Kamala was president for 85 minutes as Biden was having a procedure. There was that. For 85 minutes. A woman of color with an amazing education and vast, just amazing amounts of experience, was president of the United States for 85 minutes on this day. That is amazing. And the whole reason I did this was this lunar eclipse. And eclipses, because everything's aligned just so, the energy is even more powerful. They're called the luminaries. The sun and the moon are the largest. They're the most powerful objects in astrology, and because they're big, and they don't as everything's spinning, they don't always line up exactly. We tend to look at like an above down image of the solar system when we're doing charts, but the reality is there's also on an ecliptic, and things are not always on the exact everything lined up, not only from above lined up, but sideways from the side as well. That's why we don't have an eclipse every month. So, but when it happens, it means that the energy is even stronger because it's more precise and it's pulling. Thank you, Diana. Thank you. Thank you. Velma's mama says we lost the battle, but we will win the war on hate. Mm-hmm. So it is a very much a momentous day. It's a day of big things happening. Lisa Bennett is saying, got my nails done in a gray color called the lunar eclipse yesterday. I love that. Were they having a special? So, yeah, and I'm doing let's see, better this way. A little silvery glitter. So, all right. It is infuriating. But the reason I was talking about toxic people is that I don't know if it's just my age, but I've reached a point where in my personal life, I'm just not going to put up with toxic people. I'm just not. I got stuff to do. And, the key to knowing, are you in a toxic situation? Are you in a toxic relationship? Are you in a relationship that you should go further into? It comes down to how much do you feel like you can be yourself? I know relationships are compromised. I know there's compromise, but how much can you be yourself? How free are you to have the space to be yourself? And so in my daily life, I don't have time for toxic people. I don't put up with it. And I really go around everyone I see in person. And they tend to smile when they see me. And I like that because they know I don't cause a drama. I want to see, I want to, I look at somebody and I'm looking for something positive I could tell them about themselves. I'm looking for, I'm wanting to hear how they are, what they're thinking, how their day's going. So people are usually, happy to see me, which I like. And in all of the therapy I've had from PTSD and all these other things, one of the key things I'm having to learn is to take the protective parts of myself who try to stop me from expressing myself, from getting projects done, from trying to protect me, because I've been in situations where it's like how do I put this? I was not welcome to be myself. In a sense, it's like being erased. And I'm not doing that anymore. It's not happening. So in putting that out and moving the barriers out, it's like, okay, my protective parts of myself, I need you to move out to the edges, and I need you to protect me from whatever is out there so that I can do what I'm here to do, to be creative, to make things that are going to make people think and make people laugh and make people go, ooh, that's interesting. And things are going to be pretty. Things are going to be, this is what I'm here to do. So I'm learning through a lot of therapy to move those parts that are protecting me, but to really just trying to get me to be quiet. So nobody notices me, because bad things happen when people notice me. It's like, no, we're not doing that anymore. Those protectors are going to protect me from anything and anyone who's trying to stop me from being myself. So that's on my personal, on the personal level. And I don't do drama, not anymore. Forget it. And I've been watching a lot of videos about the Pluto return as well. Believe me, this is all related. And Pluto's about power, and how is it going to affect the US, and all of this fixed energy, who's got the power, pushing back and forth, all that tension and what have you going on. But I've been searching out videos by astrologers, professional astrologers, on the Pluto return, and I have never seen so much navel gazing in my life. It's quite frustrating. It's like, yes, we all need to face our dark side, and we need to be nicer. And yeah, I got that. Could you know, the most stress is going on in the world with people worried about who's got power, who's got not, and they're not talking about that. They're just talking about, I don't know what. It just, to be honest, a lot of it sounds like just the kind of new age beliefs get a lot of grief for being this kind of woolly, just crystals and rainbows and all of, and it doesn't have to be, but it can be. And boy, that's what these videos are like. And it's just like, really? Have you seen the news? I have no patience for fascism. Zero. Does that mean I'm going to be violent? Heck no. No. Oh, nay. But I have no patience for that. And I think that's where the difference is. Because I don't want anyone to be hurt. I just want there to be justice. And sometimes you just don't get justice. So what can you do? you say, okay, that's one person, and we're going to go on and fight in future. And I'm going to keep my calm. I'm going to keep my center of focusing on what I need, what I'm here to do, and not let that outside energy stop me from doing what I'm here to do, which is hard. But I'm also going to keep showing up and saying fascism is not acceptable in my country. It's not acceptable in the world. So I know that's a long, convoluted way of explaining all of that. But that's where I am. So am I upset? Yes. But I can't let it derail me. I can't let it derail me. I can't let it, Trump was impeached twice, and twice the Senate just let him off. And it's not the first, but one of the first times I showed my face was the day that verdict came in from the Senate. They voted, and Trump was still in there, and I came on and I sang the Star Spangled Banner. So it's a kind of rallying cry. We needed it. We needed to rally together and hold together, and so we could move on to keep fighting in a nonviolent way. And that's where we are now. I don't know if that helps. I hope that helps. Yes, feel your feelings. Yes, stand up against this fascism, racism, garbage. But also don't let anything derail you from doing the good things you are here to do. And things that benefit your purpose, your health, your ability to get some sleep at night. So that's what I would say about that. Sorry to blather on for so long. Okay, so okay. Okay. Just having a look in the chat, see what you guys are saying. All right, so good. You guys are. I'm seeing a lot of people just sharing what they're feeling, sharing with each other. This is exactly what I'm hoping for. Viola Blue says, I try to call out fascism to the ignorant. They just laugh at me. So frustrating. I don't call it out to their faces. It's usually futile because people don't want to be told to their faces that they're wrong. And so they will automatically dig in. So yes, GM Dave, shadow work has to happen, but Pluto doesn't mess around with the little stuff. Exactly. Brenda Williams says, always make good trouble. That's my rally cry. Absolutely. Good trouble. Absolutely. Joanne, did I see what Uncover the News reported? All I saw was something about a gangster, something like that. But Lynn France says, I'm trying to maintain my faith in the U.S. justice system, but it keeps getting harder. Well, I going? All right, and then I'll jump into some of these questions, some of the some of these questions I've got here. Montana Crone is saying we must continue forward in peace. We must get out the vote. 100%. Oh, the thing about Madison Cawthorn. Yeah, Cawthorn is awful. Okay. Take this. All right. Let me. Oh yeah, Trump's announcing a photo book in time for Christmas. Yeah, I saw that. It's expensive too. It's like over $200, I think it was. It's like, really? So, hang on. And Steve, I did want to say I didn't understand your question. How unsafe are Republican House members, or will they just take credit for what they voted against? I don't understand. I'm sorry. If you could rephrase it, I'll read on it tomorrow. So, all right. At 47. Maintain faith in the U.S. justice system. Is the U.S. justice system going to improve? Is the U.S. justice system going to improve? See, I'm upset by what's happened, but at the same time, I'm getting this energy from like my guides. I always feel like a nut when I talk about my guides. Guys, it's a calm, focus on what you're here to do. Focus. It's like, okay. Will the U.S. justice system improve? Chariot, that's good. That's big, major arcana law enforcement. Be nice if that improved. King of Swords, Three of Cups, Eight of Wands, Queen of Swords, Five of Swords. It's a path. We're on a path, and it diverges. I don't usually get answers like this, but this is a crossroads. We can go with Democrats and get laws. We can go with the Republicans and get laws only apply to those who aren't white and wealthy, or at least well off, or get national attention or something like that. We are at a crossroads. Okay, I don't usually get an answer like that. Which path are we going to? Oh, Sterling Roses, I hope you get some rest. So which path are we going to take? Four of Wands. There's that Eight of Wands again. Queen of Swords. Really? Which path are we going to take? I want to shuffle better. And I'd like to just say, for the record, Black Lives Matter. Which path? Oh, 2 cards there. What path are we going to take? Because this chaos is not good. Hanged Man. Page of Cups. 2 cards. It's a struggle. I'm getting struggle. It's expect Diana Cache says, Autumn, your cards were right, fascism is winning. I don't think it's fascism winning. I think it's saying I'm looking for the silver lining. I'm looking for the young people and the older people who are like us, who believe in equality, who believe in human rights. And what the cards what they felt like they were saying was, this isn't going to go away in a year or two. We are at a crossroads, and people have to choose, which is odd. I don't usually get answers like that, but that's what I'm getting. That those cards were not a fascism is going to win. The energy is very strongly saying crossroads, choices, and whether we're going to get justice in different cases, it's going to be yes and no. It's going to be hit and miss. Yes, Don Gov. Vote. Please vote. Betty Harper says, no, Black Lives Matter. We will not give up. Fascism will not win. I'm with you. What do you think, Boo Boo? What do you think? I'd say there should be equality among kitties, but you guys are awfully territorial. Yes, you are. But you're awfully cute, too. Hello, Boo Boo. Okay, we're going to have a look here at 53 minutes. We are going to look at, will there be federal charges? Here, I'll get this out of your way so you can lay down if you want to, because you're the good boy. Oh, I'm glad somebody got to see the eclipse. I was too tired. So at 53:30, will there be federal charges? Well, I'll just do, will there be federal charges? I'm going to take out the part about the weapon across state lines. There will be federal charges against against Kyle Rittenhouse. Will there be? What do you think? Will there be federal charges, sweetheart? Are you tired? You're tired. You need to stop. 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 You're tired. Come on. All right, goobered all over my hand. I think this might be the end of it. Not federal charges. I'm not feeling federal charges, but civil. civil cases? Or does Kyle... No, Stacey Kimbrell, I'm going to disagree. I'm going to respectfully disagree. Fascism is not winning. We would not have had the first woman of color as acting as the president for 85 minutes today if fascism was actually winning. There's no way. There's no way. Have you guys seen the AOC video where she and I forget who it was, they were talking during McCarthy's 8-hour speech? Yep. Don Gubb says, Autumn, think the stars, boobas, and kitty isn't a Great Dane. Yes. So Kyle Rittenhouse, are there going to be civil case? Or is this it? You just walk on. Page of Cups. Betty Harper says, we are here. We're having an open conversation about this. Fascism will not take us over. I'm with you. All right. 7 of, yes, Squeaker Bunny. 7 of Wands. 7 of Pentacles. 2 of Wands. 2 of Cups. Empress. I'm not getting a lot of justice stuff here. Matter of fact, it looks like he may be able to make some money from telling his story or whatever. Squeaker Bunny, you're tired. You should be napping. Yes, you should be napping. It's kitty nap time. Yes, it is. But this is people working together. Democrats working together. This is America. And these cards are right against each other. These are together. So it doesn't matter what's going on over here. The arc of history is toward justice. So, okay. Oh, Squeaker, Dan at Cache says Squeaker Bunny needs mom to cover him. Oh, do you need your blanket? Or do you think you want to play? All right, hang on. Let me fix your blanket. All right. Hang on. Here we go. Here we go. There's a nice spot for a good kitty. Oh, you got it. Here you go. If you go here, look. There we go. Good spot for a good kitty. Good spot for a good kitty. All right. Reese Sutton says, tell me why I chose to come down and be witness to this time. It's too much nonsense that I don't have patience for. Oh, that's it. Patience. I've had a feeling all of my life I was here to witness something. That I wanted to be here to witness it. Looking back over my life, I've witnessed a lot. Teresa Ford says, Boo-Boo, he just wants to boss the mom some, in some way. Little tired grumpus. Yes, little tired grumpus. You can see the blanket moving around. Okay. One hour. Kyla was wondering, are we headed for another civil war? Well, let's have a look. Hello. Wellbeing and Health says, darn, I could have witnessed this from the fifth dimension. Katie Arbuckle says, Boo Boo Sen Kitty says, Mom, I require thumbs. I love that. Want some help? Want some help? There. A little better for the kitty, because you're the good boy. There. Oh no, 1:30. Are we headed for another civil war? And if you're wondering how can I read on such heinous questions, and I'm worried about the messing with the cat, because I'm reading on the heinous questions. Diana Cachet's Boo Boo Supervisor of Blanket Placement. Yes. Mimi Eichholz says Pluto return has no on and off switch. Truth and justice are the goal. It was a hard fight when the USA was founded, and during the Civil War, we will succeed again. Put your energy in the light. I like that. Authentically Me says, I'm disgusted. I understand. Running Saw, Ann H says, this world is full of cruelty, injustice, perversion, and suffering. Yes. And it is full of a whole bunch of souls who are literally pieces of the divine, and who are all connected, and who all want to raise, at a soul level, want to raise the vibration of the earth so that there is less cruelty and suffering. And we do what we can when we can to help each other. Are we headed for another civil? 7 months ago. The Trump cult. My dearest Annabelle, we have retaken the Starbucks. Four of Pentacles, Judgment, King of Cups. This feels like elections. This is the president of the United States, who is Joe Biden, a Democrat, and this is the far right. They are awfully loud, but they don't have the resources to. One of the things that happened during the Civil War in the U.S. back in the 1800s was that the slaveholding area, I just want to hurl saying those words, was mostly or more heavily based in the South. I'm not saying it didn't happen in the North, because it did. But there was a line you could draw. Here, Joanne Marr says, remember, the Nazis lost. Yes, they did. And every time they stick up their little pointed heads, they will lose again. Just a matter of time. They don't have the resources. They don't have the. I just don't get Civil War. I just don't. Okay. All right. Thank you, Black Cat. 10430. Oh, this was interesting. We can get back to the questions actually brought in today. You know how I have been telling y'all that as of today, Jupiter is not protecting Trump like it has been. right? So overnight, the energy, even with a hint of it, it was like far away, still affecting, but farther, getting thinner and thinner effect until it's gone. Guess what happened last night? Where is it? Murdoch. Let me pull this up. Rupert Murdoch. The Fox News owner said Wednesday that the ex-president is an embarrassment to his party and should stop living in the past. And then there was CNN had an article about that too. Why the tide may be turning on Trump. CNN writing, what is that we hear? Is that the sound of prominent conservatives and Trump allies openly rebuking former President Donald Trump? Okay, it is noteworthy that in the past few days we have heard from two major figures in the conservative camp telling Trump that he should stop whining about the election he lost and let the Republican Party focus on the real issues instead of his self-serving fantasies. These statements from Rupert Murdoch, who controls a media empire that includes, among other properties, the shamelessly pro-Trump Fox News, and former, well, Chris Christie, he flip-flops. Murdoch was addressing his company at the annual shareholder meeting on Wednesday, said that the U.S. faces a number of major political decisions that conservatives will fail to shape unless Trump moves on. It is crucial that conservatives play an active, forceful role in that debate, but that will not happen if President Trump stays focused on the past. So, is Murdoch, you talk about Jupiter, if there's a bigger Bacchanalian blowhard out there, I don't know who is, but if Murdoch is no longer behind Trump, is Murdoch? He sounds pretty fed up. So Murdoch and Trump. Murdoch wants to make money. I don't know if he's going to go fully against Trump until the polls say something different. If he risks losing viewership, but Moon. Murdoch is really sick of Trump's. This is Murdoch. That's how he sees himself. He's the king. He is, well, actually, he sees himself as the emperor, but he's a man and king of the king, the money and the resources and the I'm the center. And this is Trump, who is just a howling at, oh, card right underneath is Trump the man, Trump howling at the moon. All right, so Murdoch, Rupert Murdoch, and Donald Trump. Queen of Swords, Page of Wands, Three of Pentacles, Page of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. Trump better find a way to make Murdoch some money. Once some of the court cases start coming down in force, there may be some messaging that Murdoch and his people can use Fox News, of course, will get lots of mileage out of that. But Murdoch actually wants there to be a plan. Yeah, they'll cover if Trump's indicted. But beyond that, this bullying nonsense, it better bring in viewers or he's not going to be interested. This is a warning shot across Trump's bow. That's what it feels like. It's like you better have some other ways to get attention than just being indicted for everything under the sun. Because beyond that, it's like he's going like this. We're done with you. Dang. Hi. Black Cat is saying it's all about the money. I'm getting that faux news is losing ad revenue and Murdoch is angry. Well, Rachel Maddow's been beating, is it Hannity or Carlson, whoever she's up against over at Fox. Apparently, she's been beating them in the ratings for at least 6 months. I think it's more. Okay, so at 1:11:30, so Bannon was going to be arraigned yesterday, but he pleaded not guilty on Wednesday and waived his right to have the charges against him read out in court, which apparently isn't done often, but it happens. And you think, okay, so he stayed home and whatever. He worked on his podcast and tried to get even more attention. Oh, and Mark Meadows came by. So the two of them, the man who is being charged by the January 6th committee and the man who is likely to be charged by the January 6th committee, they decided to be on that podcast together and talk about anything but, is my understanding. Bell Book and Candle, we did have a female POTUS of color. We did. For 85 minutes. His procedure's done. So he was having his wahoo looked at, and that's it. So they sedated him. Pretty standard stuff. So Bannon. All right, so Bannon didn't have his arraignment yesterday because he waived that. But his lawyers were trying to get the trial put off until next year, saying this is a really complicated case and there are lots of different facets of this and it's unprecedented and all of this, and we need, Steve Bannon, he needs just a ton of time to work through all of these issues, so there shouldn't be a trial date until well into next year. And the judge said, oh, nay, you can stop right there. I have 2 words for you. December 7th. So, is Bannon going to continue to fail in his Trumpian legal efforts? I don't know yet what time on December 7th. I'm trying to find out so I can run the chart. December 7th is the next court hearing. It's not going to be well into next year. The judge is like, right back here, December 7th. magician. Lovers, judgment, 8 of Pentacles, Lovers, judgment, 8 of Swords, King of Pentacles, Temperance. He's going to be hemmed in, and him being the martyr, he thinks he's going to be so rich and it's going to be huge, but there's something tempering it. Unfortunately, he's not tempering it enough. And he is going to face judgment for being part of the cult, the Trump cult. And this is his wings being clipped. It feels more like him coming up against something solid. Yeah. It's not going to be anywhere near as much fun as he's thinking it is. Gina Bridges is saying, I hope he has jail time for contempt of court. Yep. Linda Johnson is saying December 7th, Pearl Harbor. Big day. Boom for Bannon. Steve Bannon doing anything. A day ending in Y that will live in stupidity. Okay, 4 of... Yeah, he's definitely trying to just quiet everything down. 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords. His next hearing is on December 7th. 7th, 7th, 7th. On the defensive, fruits of labor, so things he actually did that he's supposed to turn over to the committee and talk about. And he's trying to not do that and be a thief. Sneak away. I know it's a coincidence, but December 7th is his next hearing. I'm asking, will he be able to continue putting things off like this? And I get 777. Yes, boo. I know, you're out of the blanket. Oh, you are a big pain. Yes, you are. All right. Ugh. You're a big pain. Okay. All right, so what is next? All right. The House at 11830, the House passed Biden's budget. Will it pass the Senate? With all of the social reforms, pre-K for everybody, things that would actually be good for the country. So is it going to pass the Senate? Interesting. Well, they're definitely talking, the Republicans are talking about it in negative ways. But in the Senate, we actually have some thinking about it, some debate. Is there something we could do? This is the maybe allowing something. Giving a little. Or I wonder if that's just Manchin and Cinema being willing to give a little, although I have trouble believing Cinema would do anything to help Democrats. Seriously, I'm so done with her. Lisa Burnett says, will boo-boos and kitty lay draped across your shoulders? No. He'll do what we just did. And by the way, that energy is just so lovely. Now that he's somewhere else, it's just like, oh, that was nice. Yes, Holly France, December 7th, a day that shall live in infamy. On December 7th, a Bannon day that shall live in stupidity. There's not enough money. Yeah, you just approved a bill for the military and whatnot that was wildly bigger than what they're asking for here. Oh no, we have to be temperate now that it's not corporations and the military-industrial complex getting the money. Oh no, it's all bad. They're naive and it's all bad and we can't possibly spend them money now. It's not going to get... Yeah, so why was I getting them giving a little? Oh, Justin's mom, that was very sweet. Three of Wands. King of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Page of Swords. I wonder if they're going to talk about it, because I got the Six of Pentacles with them giving, the Republicans giving a little, but not, or maybe they're offering to give just a little, but not this thing. And oh, we've got some weirdness going on in the GOP that we definitely want to talk about. I might have to move that up the list. Make sure we get to it today. Nine of Swords. They're worried about what their constituents will do. It's a Biden thing. We must hate it. We are Republicans who stick together. This is our message. It doesn't look great. Trouble? You're a nut. Come here and lie down. Come here. Come here. Come here. You got stuff to do. Dr. Oz, I'm not making this up. Dr. Oz is running as a Republican for Senate. And he's serious. And we're going to read on that. Coming up. Park it. No, I'm not making it up. $124. So, Dr. Oz, will Dr. Oz be working with Mitch McConnell in the Senate? And it's Dr. Oz, and he's running as a Republican. And apparently his, in the primary, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe in the primary, his only real competition is Parnell, who was accused of domestic abuse against his wife. So Dr. Oz. Senator Oz? Senator Oz, huh? Anyone who would willingly go into that toxic soup. I don't. Really? You want to be a senator and you're going to go stand behind Mitch McConnell? Knight of Pentacles, yep, fighting for the Republican way. Just lie down, sweetie. Just lie down. 9 of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. He thinks he can do what he wants. I haven't heard anything about this guy's politics. All right, I just assumed he was sort of middle of the road or leaning left. Guess not. He's in a 9 of Pentacles here, 10 of Pentacles here. He's set. He doesn't need the money. Really? You're going to be spouting the right-wing nonsense. Sorry about the squeaking. You're tired. Lie down. Lie down. I know. You're tired. Lie down, sweetheart. Linda Johnson says, will he turn his back on medical facts like vaccinations? Oh, Diana Cachet saying Dr. Oz has already been spouting right-wing nonsense. So, going to just crumple up your medical degree and go out there and start being anti-vaccine and other stupid things. He does have name recognition, Julie. Exactly. Knight of Swords. Is your paw caught? Here's your coat. What did you do? What did you do? There you go. Actually, it feels like he's pro-vaccine. Here, take your shot. Temperance. 5 of Swords. 3 of Wands. Things he's done, he will be very much held against him in the race for the Senate. This feels like him trying to look out on a group, and he has name recognition, but there's a feeling I'm getting here of crickets. Oh yeah, he's fine under the blanket. It's where he wants to be. He loves it. He loves being under blankets. And it's not tight or anything. He can breathe. It's fine. There's something he's not being taken seriously, or people aren't coming out to see him, or they like did once and then they're like, okay, we're done there. Oh, he goes on Fox too. Yikes. Thank you, Stacey Ryder. Stacy Kimbrell is saying my dog sleeps under the blankets most nights. Debsy says Boo-Boos and Kitty reminds me of when I was on the phone and my kids were little. Mom, 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 mom. See, there's some people who just cannot stand him, who are going to would crawl across broken glass to get to a camera and a microphone to explain how much they despise Dr. Oz for what he's done. I'm getting snake oil salesman. Yeah. Star. It's the name recognition that gives him a chance. His actual policies and things. Yep. Me, myself, and I is saying Oz is trying to stay relevant. You have more money than God. Go home. Yeah. Oh, at the point, Chat Watcher says maybe Dr. Phil can be his running mate. Right. Dr. Oz and Dr. Phil. The Duck Party. Because they're just full of quacks. Okay. 1:31 and a bit. It's going to take me most of the day to try to figure out the time stamping on this thing. Let me see. Aha. We might be getting rid of DeJoy. 1:30. Where? What? It was right here. Where was it? Oh, yeah, Robin's question. At 1:31:15. So Robin E. was saying, I read Bannon will be replacing someone on the USPS board next month. I forgot his name. It's the ally. Biden.
President Biden is expected to make an announcement on Friday that U.S. Postal Service Board Chairman Ron Bloom, whose term expires in December, will not be renominated, the Washington Post reported. The newspaper, who spoke to 3 people familiar with the matter, reported that it signaled an uncertain future for Postmaster General Louis DeJoy, of whom Bloom is an ally.
Basically, Biden, he can't just replace people, but he can nominate replacements. He can nominate, and more specifically, not nominate someone who's already there to go forward. So how's this going to go? Ron Bloom, yes, Electra Storm. Were you guys able to hear it just happened to start playing and explained it quite well. Joanne Morris says Jupiter is at work. And an eclipse. And Jupiter. So, is this going to work? Get rid of that board member. Get rid of DeJoy. If I doubt they could do it that quickly, but wouldn't it be great if we could get rid of DeJoy before Christmas? All I want for Christmas is to get rid of DeJoy, because with him gone, there's a chance of getting my other presents, of everybody getting their other presents. I hear you, Don. Gubb is saying, do nominees have to be okayed by the Senate, where so many are being held up? I don't know exactly. I wasn't able to figure that out, but let's have a look. Hanged Man. Card for the reading feels very strong. Time's up. Fingers crossed. Justice. 7 of Cups. Magician. 5 of Wands. Judgment. Ooh. There are some internal watchdogs who are going to be going back over things that DeJoy did, including election-related stuff. Oh, Selector Storm says more like January, not December. Unfortunately, his term ends December 31st. Well, we just want him gone as soon as possible. Bye-bye DeJoy. Refusal. He's refused to listen to sense or anything reasonable. 10 of Swords. Sun. 8 of Swords. I'm actually feeling like what I'm picking up is an internal watchdog. And him being held accountable for some things he was doing he wasn't supposed to be. I've always, before, I thought I would always get an answer of him getting off and just, going and rolling in into his vault of money like Scrooge McDuck. But this doesn't feel like that. This feels like dang, son. Ooh, someone's coming after you. Page of Wands. Oh, message, a letter. Oh, Sparky Sassy Pants. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get to that today. I'm so sorry. Things just ran late. I'm sorry. But we'll see. We'll see what I can do or tomorrow. Sorry. Queen of Swords, 3 of Swords, 8 of Wands. Investigations. Legal heartache. Can't get rid of him fast enough. He's got problems. I'm glad to see things finally kind of turning in that direction. And actually, it is 1:46. Let me see if I can. Where was that question? Tom Spota. I tried looking him up. 138. So 138. Will Tom Spota, the disgraced ex-Suffolk County, Long Island District Attorney, flip to the feds to make a deal to avoid 5 years of imprisonment starting December 10th? I don't know much about it. So I'll just read straight up. Tom Spota, are you going to make a deal to avoid 5 years of imprisonment, or at least part of 5 years of imprisonment? Tom Spota, Long Island. This is very much a cold reading. I know nothing about this person, so. Spota? Tom Spota? Is that his name? Okay. I think he would do a lot to avoid jail time. The words that come to mind are things I wouldn't want to say on air, and it has to do with his pants. He's feeling mighty panicked. 9 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, 8 of Cups, Queen of Wands. This is evidence. This is a plan. What did he... I thought I had something up here. Did I have something here about Republicans? elected, I guess he was elected in 2017, Democrat Tom Spota, arrested in connection with the cover-up of a former police chief beating someone. A lot of these are behind paywalls, so I'm just looking at the headlines. He was on his way to 5 years in prison for intimidating witnesses, obstructing justice, and otherwise perverting the law. So, corruption saga that began with the prisoner's 2012 beating in a police precinct and reached Suffolk County's highest law enforcement ranks. I don't know who this is. If that was a beating, this person's beaten up. This could be working. This is the card of workings that could be covering it up. This is the plan. This is evidence of what happened. Who's the Queen of Wands here? Oh, Nana Walling, thank you. Tom Spota. It feels like he already gave over a bunch of stuff. I don't know if that's what they reported, but it feels like he may not have enough to give, and he already gave up some stuff. Some stuff, not everything, but Page of Wands, there's the message. I want to talk to the big guy. Queen of Swords, investigators. Lovers, hey guys, you know me. Thief. Yeah, we know what you did. Will he flip or try to cooperate? What it feels like is he's still trying to play games. He hasn't really learned his lesson, is what it feels like. He's already given up some stuff. I don't know. He does have some other stuff he could give up, but he really doesn't want to. Because he would, because he's corrupt. I'm just getting a come on, guys, come on, you know me. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Yeah, we know you, and you did this thing. And we're holding you accountable. But I'm one of you. Oh, come on. Like, if he just says it enough, that's going to work. So, flipping. He might be in danger if he flips, too. Not that he's going to be in the best situation possible in prison. I mean, because obviously they'll isolate him, but still. Page of Pentacles. Fool, Three of Wands. Sword of Truth. No, the sword's coming down on him. No, I'm not getting it. I think it looks like he's likely. He's likely going to prison on the 10th, but it depends on how scared he gets. If he gets any more scared than he already is, and he's already Spoota-ing his pants, maybe, but well, Marie Henson, we do know. We watched it at the beginning of the hour and or beginning of the live stream, rather. We went through all of that. Thank you. 145. Let me see. Let me see. I'm just going to choose one more out of the pile here. Your questions are very important, but it is 154. Okay, Diana Cachet, 154. And tomorrow we could look at that that poor tennis player. Oh my gosh. With China and the tennis player. Oh my gosh. But for now, we are going to look at 146, actually. No, yeah, that's 140. Yes, 146. Is the DOJ and Garland, are they working on a sedition case against Bannon, Meadows, or anyone else? Are you working on an actual sedition case? Hello, DOJ. Oh, people working. Busy. Anybody got a sedition case going? Against Meadows or Bannon or Trump or somebody? Ooh, say the T word. You get kind of a shh. Why shush? Because everything has to be kept under wraps, so nothing leaks. Well, is there anything to keep under wraps? Like maybe you're building a case against him for sedition? King of Cups. All right. New sheriff in town. Fair enough. Three of Cups. Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Cups. Hanged Man. Six of Pentacles. Doesn't feel like a sedition case. These are not cards of a sedition case. We're so glad that Biden became president. Yes, and we got Barr out of, and his ilk out of the DOJ. These are Republicans. These are Democrats. This is a suspension. This is Republicans giving a little. There's nothing here. I'll see if there's, I'll try again, but I'm getting nothing. Diana Cachet says, whenever I see the Hanged Man card, I think of the noose and the HMP chants on January 6th. There is somebody working on January. There are people working on January 6th mess. Not just the lower levels, the higher ups. Yeah, definitely working, and working quietly. We can't hear it though. This is the card. This is the loud. This is loud judgment, but it's quiet. We can't hear it. All right. 10 of Wands. There's so much to get through and organize. So it looks like they're winning. The sword of truth will come. There's a but in there. A but. It's going to take time, but they're somehow going to work with the January 6th Select Committee in some way, or Alicia Marie is saying, I don't believe any of them will be facing anything serious. Rich, white, and male reasons. No worries, Marie. Just glad you're here. Ten of Cups. Knight of Cups. Ten of Pentacles. Six of Cups. Well, that's the establishment who tried to overthrow, the parts of the establishment who tried to overthrow the election. This is the Knight moving forward, but my goodness, that's a lovely walk in the park. Take your time. Yeah, take your time, DOJ. Take your time. Doesn't matter. There are only midterm elections coming up. There are only major policies being put in place. But yeah, take your time. But at least there's something going on back there. Anyway. All right. That's going to do it for me for today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sitting through that with me, so I wasn't alone. I'm glad I could be with you so you weren't alone. I'll have to turn off the monetization because I was showing MSNBC. So I tried to earlier, but it literally wasn't showing up anywhere in the list of live streams. It wasn't showing at the beginning saying it was live, and it wasn't showing up in the list. But anyway, I'll take care of it. It is 2:01 p.m. here in Chicago, and at 4 o'clock in 2 hours, I'll be over on the Book Art Media channel. The Tara's Apprentice, talking about toxic people. I want to say 6 o'clock this evening on Tara's Apprentice. 6 Central Time in the U.S. 6, so 7 Eastern, 6 Central. That's, I think, but anyway, I won't be on it. But it should be really interesting to listen to. All right, but I'm going to do post-production. It's going to take me a while to sort out the time stamping. But I've got to get my skates on because I'm behind on my book. It's still coming out December 4th, and it has to be turned in November 30th by 6 p.m. And that's the deadline, and it's not done. It's not finished. It's not the way I want it to be yet. So yes. And so I'm going to, like I explained earlier, take all of everything that's trying to stop me to protect me and be like, protect the perimeter, and I will stand in the middle and try to create. All right. And I can do that because of you and your help. Thank you. All right, guys, I will see you either over on Book Art Media at 4 o'clock, or I will see you right back here tomorrow, since I am here 365 days of the year. Thank you. Hang in there, okay? I know I say it all the time, but it's true. There are good days ahead.